What if your greatest obstacle isn't discipline, opportunity, or even fear of failure, but the very thing that makes you extraordinary? Look around you. You've met someone with undeniable talent, someone who learns faster, sees deeper, and possesses abilities that seem almost unfair. And yet, years pass. Nothing happens. Meanwhile, someone far less talented builds the career, writes the book, and lives the life everyone assumed belonged to the genius. Carl Jung believed the tragedy of unrealized talent has almost nothing to do with the outside world. The real battle happens inside the psyche. Hidden within many gifted people is a terrifying contradiction. One part desperately wants to create. Another part is terrified of actually succeeding. Unrealized potential feels psychologically safer than a realized one. As long as greatness remains a possibility, it can never be judged or reveal its limits. So the talented mind builds an invisible prison, staying almost ready, always preparing, always one step away from its own life. Jung drew a hard line between genius and talent. Genius arrives whole. Talent is a capacity, not a compulsion. It needs you to choose it every day. The smarter you are, the more sophisticated your avoidance becomes. It doesn't look like avoidance. It looks like research, preparation, waiting for the right moment. Potential is the only thing in your life that cannot fail. As long as the novel isn't written, it's still the best novel you'll ever write. Jung documented a businessman who built an empire through incredible intensity. Then he retired, collapsed into anxiety, and his creative genius turned inward and became destructive. Psychic energy demands a gradient. When you block it, it doesn't disappear. It finds another way through, and that way is almost always destructive. The fear driving self-sabotage isn't fear of failure. Talented people protect against a good result, because success makes everything you chose not to build your permanent responsibility. Jung called this the cost of individuation. Becoming what you actually are demands accepting responsibility for yourself in a way most people find completely intolerable. The persona, the mask of someone about to do something great, generates all the social benefits of being gifted without requiring the exposure that actual creation demands. The version of you describing your work and the version sitting alone in front of it are not the same person. The wider that gap, the more exhausting everything becomes. Jung's vocation doesn't disappear when ignored. It grows quieter, leaving behind a low, persistent discomfort of a life running parallel to the life always waiting to be lived. You must decide whether to keep carrying the weight of what you could have done or start carrying the weight of actually doing it. Only one builds anything.